Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. This week I am going to share some cards with you that are made with the Christmas Quilt bundle. Now, although it's called Christmas Quilt, you can use it for so many different occasions other than Christmas, and I have done quite a few of my Christmas cards using the Christmas Quilt. Sadly, the Christmas Quilt bundle, the stamp set and the framelits, individually and as a bundle, are being discontinued when the current holiday catalog retires on June 2nd. I'm really sad. I thought for sure this was going to be a keeper because it's just so versatile, but I guess I was wrong. So, and the reason I'm using this is because I really want you to see how versatile this stamp set is. You can certainly check my blog or my Pinterest page, and you'll see all the Christmas cards that I did using the Christmas Quilt. But I want you to really see that it has so much more potential than Christmas. So this is the stamp set, and it's called Christmas Quilt, and it has these 2 or 3 pieces for your quilting triangles, and it has these flowers and these pieces here to make your quilt. And it has the stamps that have yourself a merry little Christmas, and it does have some stitching. There's just so much potential with this. But obviously because of the name, you look at it and you think Christmas. But stick with me this week, and you'll see that it's one of those that you need to get before it's gone. And it comes with the Quilt Builder framelits, and there's lots of framelits. These are the ones we're not using today. There's the triangle, the stitching, the adorable needle, and these are the ones we're going to use today. It's the actual quilt part of it. So, again, this is only available through January 2nd, so be sure you get yours before they're all gone. And then I'm also going to use this Special Celebrations stamp set. We're going to use Welcome Baby, and then this sentiment here: the world is full of miracles and none so precious as the one on the way to you. And this is the card. As you can see, it has a lot of layers to it, and there's a lot of cutting to it, but I think it's just so nice for a special new baby that's on the way. So when you open it this way, there's the quilt, and then you open it this way, and there's where you sign it. So like I said, there's a lot of die cutting and a lot of layers, but I think it's just a great little stamp set. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need is the base of our card, which is Pure Pizzazz, and it's cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then we need the inside card, which is cut 5 1/4 by 8, scored at 4, and that's going to fit nicely right in there. Then our card front is Pink Pirouette, and that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Then we need some scrap Soft Sky, Pink Pirouette, and Whisper White. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this piece of Pink Pirouette, which is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, to the front of our card base. And for that, I'm just going to use my snail. Okay, center that up. Now I'm going to start my die cutting. And the first thing I'm going to die cut is this piece right here. And I want to die cut it through both of these layers. Okay, so I'm gonna go run this through the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with all of my pieces. Now I'm going to just pop this off, and these are just gonna pop right through. Do not throw away any of these pieces, the green ones. We're going to use those to finish our card off. Like I said, they just pop right out. Come on out. There we go. Alright, so we're going to put all of those aside. Now this is our front, the front of our card. The next thing we're going to do is make our frame, our blue frame. Excuse me. And to do that, I'm going to use my layering squares. I have the largest scallop square and the plain square that fits, that nests inside. And I'm going to cut this out twice. I want 2 frames, and I'll show you why. So hold on one sec, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with 2 of my squares. And the reason I want 2 is I'm going to put one on the front of my card here. And for that, I'm going to use a glue pen. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the back. Of my frame, and then I'm going to line it up right here. Just give it a little press so it stays. Now I'm going to take this second one and I'm going to put it on the back. See this, I mean, as much as I try to line that up, it does look decent, but I like to have a finished look on the inside. It just makes it look more professional. So rather than having it stay like this, I'm going to put another frame on the inside. It is a little more work and it does take more paper, but I think in the long run, it just gives the card a much more finished look. So I'm going to line that up with that square there and press. And there we go. It's nice and finished. So now I'm just going to do my stamping right here. And for that, I'm going to stamp Welcome Baby in Pure Pizzazz. Now you could have stamped this before you die cut your pink. Doesn't matter. And normally I would have, just in case I make a mistake. All right. So far, so good. Now I'm going to do the inside of my card. And for that, I have my Whisper White, which was cut at 8 by 5 1/4, scored at 4. And I know your inclination is to use it this way, but we're going to use it this way. We're going to open it up backwards. And right here on this side, the right flap, using some soft sky, I'm going to stamp my sentiment right here. Okay. Now I'm going to attach that to the inside of my card. And when I attach it, I want to center it up just as if I was using it as a layering piece on the front of my card. Okay, there we go. So now we have to make our frame on the inside. And to do that, I have a piece of scrap Whisper White. And I'm going to use the stamp that is the outside stitching right here. Okay, and I'm going to stitch that, stamp that in Smoky Slate. And because this stamp set is photopolymer, I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat. So I'm going to ink this up. And stamp that right here. It's very, very slight, but you do see it. Now I'm going to stamp the pattern for my quilt. Now, these are the stamps that come in the stamp set. One has polka dots and one has stripes. This is easy to bend. So my recommendation to you, so that you get as close to a perfect stamp as possible, is to just drop it and let it settle naturally, and then come in and pick it up with your block. Okay? So, excuse me. So, I'm going to stamp my stripes up using So Saffron. Now, there's a lot of different ways. You hear many different demonstrators tell you how to line these up. Some people swear by using the Stamp-A-Majig. It didn't work for me. I can't wait for the Stamparatus to come out, because that's what I'm going to use to line my stamp up. But I'm going to see where it sits, because these, you can see these are different shapes. And I'm going to come right down on it, and I'm going to try to line up right in the center there. Because it's photopolymer, you can see, but I have a camera in my face, so it's a little hard for me to see. And there we go. Just about perfect. Then I'm going to come around and do it. I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to do it again. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the one that has the polka dots on it, and I'm going to do the same thing in Soft Sky. I'm going to stamp up my stamp, and I'm going to try to line up. Actually, let me just drop this and make sure that... Well, hold on one second. Okay. Now we're ready to go. I'm going to try to line up that center once again. And like I said, I have a camera right in my head, so a little obstructed view, and that came totally off. But I'm going to show you how it doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to come back in and try one more time. And that's better. Okay? Don't worry about that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two framelits here. This one here does not cut. It's just going to put in some stitch lines for me. I'm going to put that right there. Then I'm going to put this one that does cut over it. And I'm going to run that through my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my piece. And even though it's out of the border, it doesn't look that bad. So what we're going to do is use our Tombow. I don't use Tombow a lot, but for something like this, it's perfect, because you do have a little bit of wiggle room as you're trying to line this up. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to bring my card down here, and I'm going to slip this in underneath. And I do have, like I said, a little bit of wiggle room, because I'm using the Tombow liquid glue. So I can scooch that over as needed. Okay, and there it is. So now what I'm going to do with my scrap piece of pink pirouette, I'm going to cut out another one of these shapes, borders of the quilt. So for that, I'm going to bring this piece back in that we used in the beginning. In the stamp set, the framelit set does come with a nesting square that will give you a tiny border around this. So I'm going to go cut one of these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with this, and I'm going to pop all my pieces out. And they do pop out so beautifully and easily. Okay, so we have this very, very thin border. So again, I'm going to use my glue pen, and I'm going to first be sure to get all the edges, the outside edges, then the inside, and then just dab along in here. You don't have to get every section of it, because it is going to stay pretty good. Of course, I should have used my silicone mat, but I didn't. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up right here. And this is where it helps to hide anywhere where you were off on the placing of your stamp. See, so it looked, when I first stamped that and the one was totally off, it looked terrible. But now that I have this pink on it, it doesn't look so bad. And we're going to make it look even better. So now we have all of these sections. And remember I told you not to throw away your little squares, your green ones? Well, we are going to come in and use them now. So I need 4 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again with the Tombow, I'm going to put a little bit in each of these sections here. And then I'm just going to pop those in. And they do pop right in. And the Tombow is a nice strong adhesive. So I know that even though every inch or every tiny portion of this green cardstock is not does not have Tombow on it, I know that it's going to stick, because Tombow, that little bit that's in the middle there, is going to hold everything nice and secure. Now again, because you can still see where I was off on my stamping, but because you now have this border around it and you have these pretty green, your eye doesn't get drawn to it. So that's a good way to cover that up. Now the final touch is the ribbon in the front. And I'm going to use some retired Soft Sky seam binding. And I'm going to run it through. As you can see, I ran it through this one here and the one diagonal. So they're not straight across from each other, but it doesn't really matter when you make your bow. So I'm going to make my knot. And then I'm going to make my bow. I'm going to fuss with that just a tad till I get it to fall the way I want it. And I'm going to trim the tails. And there we have it. It has all nice pastel colors for a baby boy or a girl. If you did know what the baby was going to be, you could certainly emphasize that traditional color and perhaps use some pattern paper with it. But this one is for a baby that I don't know what it's going to be. So I've used the pink, the blue, the green, and the yellow, which are your traditional baby colors. And then when you open it up, there you go. I think that is just so pretty. And I really do like the addition of this frame on the inside. It gives it a nice polished look. Makes it look much more professional. So if you have any questions at all about this card or the Christmas Quilt bundle, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And remember, this bundle and these products, either sold individually or bundled, and when they're bundled, they're a 10% discount, are only available until January 2nd. Today, Stampin' Up! Is having free shipping. So today would be a great day to grab this set before it's all gone and not have to pay shipping to get it brought to you. So I hope you enjoyed this card. I hope you'll take advantage of the free shipping and get yourself this product before it retires. And if you have any questions, certainly contact me. I'm always happy to answer. Thanks so much. I'll catch you back here Wednesday for another card using this great set.